Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Narayan Rao Kovur. In this video, I am going to explain theory of production. Theory of production. What is the meaning of production? What is the meaning of production in a normal sense? What is the meaning of production in a economic sense? What are the factors of production? What are the prices of factors of production? And what is land? What are the characteristic features of land? These are the points now I am going to explain in this video. Production. In normal sense, production means an activity of making something material. In normal sense or in common sense, production means an activity of making something material. This is called production. That means growing of food crops, growing of commercial crops, example for production in normal sense. Whereas in economic sense, it has a wider meaning. In economic sense, production is an economic activity by which man uses resources means factors of production, and transform them into goods and services to satisfy the human wants. This is known as production in economic sense. Once again, production in economic sense means an activity by which man uses resources means factors of production, and transform them into goods and services to satisfy the human wants. This is known as production. In other words, production process involves not only conversion of physical inputs into physical output, but also involves intangible inputs to produce intangible output. This is also called production. For example, production process involves not only conversion of physical inputs into physical output. For example, land, water, seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, agricultural implements are the physical inputs. Paddy is the physical output. And another one is it also involves intangible inputs to produce intangible output. That means services of doctors, services of engineers, services of chartered accountants, etc. Next, conversion of natural resources into final goods and services, also called production. Conversion of raw materials into final goods, also called production. Creation of utility, also called production. Example, farm utility. Addition of utility, also called production. Example, place utility. This is the meaning of production. Production does not include 1. Goods produced for self-consumption. Goods produced for self-consumption does not include in production. Voluntary services does not include production. Work done by the household out of love and affection also does not include production. Next, factors of production. Factors of production refers to inputs, resources, instruments of production, agents of production, means, etc. Those are all called factors of production. The inputs that are used in the further production process, those are called factors of production. Land, labor, capital, organized are called factors of production. inputs, resources, means, instruments of production, agents of production. But the prices of factors of production are rent to the land, wages to the laborer, interest to the capital, profits to the organizer. This is called factors of production. Refers to inputs or resources. Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur are used to produce goods and services to satisfy the human wants. Land is a free gift of nature. Land is a free gift of nature, whereas human effort is classified into labor, capital, and entrepreneur. Human effort is classified into labor, capital, and entrepreneur. This is something information regarding factors of production. Cost of production. Expenses incurred in the production process are called cost of production. Expenses incurred in the production process are called cost of production. Next, this is something the basic details of introduction to the production. So now let us examine what is the meaning of land, what are the characteristic features of land. First of all, in normal sense, land means soil or surface of the earth or earth surface. This is the meaning of land in common sense or in ordinary language. Whereas in economic sense, land refers to all free gift of nature and also refers to natural resources including fertility of the soil, air, water, high light, heat, natural vegetation, etc. etc. This is called land in economics. The meaning of land in economics. Next, what are the characteristic features of land? The characteristic features of land are: one is land is a free gift of nature. Land is a free gift of nature. It is not produced by our forefathers. So, no human effort is required to make land available for production. No human effort is required to make land available for production because it is a gift from the nature. Nature's gift. Second one is land has no supply price. Land has no supply price. No payment has been made to Mother Nature of obtaining land. Supply of land is fixed. So, land has no supply price. No payment has been made to Mother Nature of obtaining land. No payment for obtaining the land. That is called land has no supply price. Land has no supply price. Man cannot increase, man cannot decrease the supply of land. Third one, supply of land is fixed. Supply of land is fixed. No one can increase, no one can decrease supply of land. From economy point of view, supply of total land is fixed. Supply of total land is fixed. That means perfectly inelastic supply. ES is equal to 0. So total geographical area of India cannot be changed. Total geographical area of Andhra Pradesh cannot be changed. It is fixed. Next, from the firm's point of view, supply of land can be changed. From firm's point of view, supply of land can be changed. That is relatively elastic supply. ES greater than 1. For example, ఎక్స్కి ఒక 10 ఎకరాలు ఉన్నాయని అనుకున్నాం. తర్వాత ఇతను వైకి డొనేట్ చేశాడని అనుకున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు ఎక్స్ దగ్గర 0 ఉంటుంది, వై దగ్గర 10 acres ఉంటాయి. దట్ ఈస్ సప్లై ఆఫ్ ఫర్మ్స్ పాయింట్ ఆఫ్ వ్యూ, సప్లై ఆఫ్ ల్యాండ్ కెన్ బి చేంజ్డ్. రిలేటివ్లీ ఎలాస్టిక్ సప్లై. ఈఎస్ గ్రేటర్ దాన్ 1. నెక్స్ట్, fourth one, land is a permanent and has indestructible powers. Land is a permanent one, it is not a temporary one, and it has indestructible powers of the soil, no damageable powers of the soil. According to Ricardo, land has certain original and indestructible powers. These properties of land cannot be destroyed, but fertility of the soil decreased. Fertility of the soil is decreased. No damage to the land. No indestructible powers of land. Next, fifth one is land is a passive factor. Without human effort, it does not produce anything on its own. Without human effort, it does not produce anything on its own. Therefore, land is a passive factor, not a active factor. Next, sixth one is land is immobile. Land is immobile factor. Immobile, not mobile. Land cannot be shifted physically from one place to another place, one location to another location. Land cannot be shifted physically. Next, seventh one is land has multiple uses, used for varied purposes. Land can be used for to raise food crops. Land can be used for to raise commercial crops. Land can be used to construct a factory building. Land can be used for to construct a factory building, and the land can be used for even burial ground also. So land has different uses. So used for different purposes. It has multiple uses. Next, land is a heterogeneous. Land is a heterogeneous. Different kinds of soils are there. Red soil, famous for groundnut. Sandy soil, famous for watermelon and dosa. And black soil, famous for cotton. Different soils are there. So, different soils are there. They are different in fertility. They are different in productivity also. That means land is a heterogeneous. Red soils, black soils, alluvial soils, laterite soils, saline soils, sandy soils, etc. etc. Different kinds of soils are there. They are different fertility. They are different productivity also. Land is a mother of all factors of production. Land is a original and mother of all factors of production. This is something the information regarding the characteristic land and characteristics of land. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe and comment.